I've been at 5 tax deed sales this past month. Essentially, I've been at more tax deed sales than there are weeks in the month, and it's been a crazy adventure. I've learned a lot of new things, a lot of valuable information, and I'm really excited to share with you guys some of the top tips that I learned this past month. Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of Tax Lien TV. I'm finally back in Vancouver, Canada. It feels good to be back. It's beautiful and sunny. We're just in Kitsilano by the beach. And I want to share a lot of the tips and valuable information that I've learned this past month. So let's start with number 1, due diligence when it comes to driving properties. There was this crazy scenario where I was driving a property and we came to the front of the building. And I'm actually going to show you guys a picture of the house. So you can see right now, it looks okay, right? It doesn't look the best, but a little bit of rehab and we could get it running, up and running, no problem. Something I've started doing recently though, is checking the back of the houses when it's possible. So I'm gonna pull up this image right now, take a look at that. Pretty crazy, right? You can see that essentially the entire back of the house is gone. It looks like some kind of explosion happened or something crazy. Me and Dory, a couple months back, were also buying property in Philadelphia at the tax sale. And one of the houses on the back had a tree actually growing through the property. And so it's really important that you do a thorough inspection. We got a hornet here, but I'm not afraid, no worries. You do a thorough inspection. A lot of people, I talk to a lot of people and they say, yeah, I drive the properties. I just trying to drive it and do an assessment on the outside. They don't get out of their vehicle. And if you didn't get out of your vehicle, you would end up with this house where there's no back to the house at all, or the property where the tree's growing through the back. So in the past couple of months, I'm finding that my due diligence game has gotten exceptionally better. I'm being extremely thorough, talking to neighbors. A quick example, I was in Florida and I found this really nice HOA apartment. And I actually had grabbed one of the neighbors next door. I said, hey, we're just looking at this house right here. Maybe we'll buy it, we're interested in acquiring it. And I said, how do you like living here? And immediately, this gentleman just started spewing off a whole bunch of the local gossip and was talking about how the HOA was actually getting sued. There was a whole bunch of information on the news. The HOA was not paying their water and the water was shut off. So there was a lot of drama and a lot of chaos surrounding that property. And if I didn't talk to the neighbor, I wouldn't have known that. And we actually stayed away from that sale because of all of the craziness that was happening with it. And so it's really important that you talk to neighbors, you talk to tenants, you talk to homeowners, you talk to everybody. Just to add on to that, it's really great to build that rapport in advance. For instance, if I go talk to a neighbor 2 days before the sale, then the sale happens, I acquire the property, I show up, it's not somebody that's brand new, right? It's gonna make the exchange, the transition a whole lot easier. So the biggest takeaways, talk to neighbors, homeowners, do a thorough inspection, get a really good idea of the rehab that's gonna happen for the entire property. So that's tip number 1, due diligence. The second tip I wanna get into is try multiple tax sales in your area. I recently went to Florida. I went to West Palm actually, and I was really excited about the upcoming sale. It was an online auction and I was pumped. The day of the auction, I've driven all the properties, had my max bid sheet done up, done research, and I was excited to see what the properties were going to sell for. And then the bidding began. And I actually have a screenshot of the final sales. So a lot of these properties that you're looking at right now, one of them actually went up to ARV, after repair value. It went all the way up to the selling price of the property. There's no margin at all, no equity. And a lot of the properties, they just got bid up way too high. A couple reasons this is happening. One, it's an online tax sale. So that's gonna bring a lot of foreign investors, not necessarily foreign outside of the US, but foreign to the state. Because it's really easy for someone to get online and just do a little bit of research on the internet. Check Zillow, check Google Maps, the property's there, looks great, but it's not reliable information. They buy the property. Some people are just looking for a place to store their money. But it brought way too much competition. It was no good. There was a few deals, and I'm definitely gonna stay on top of it. but it was not exactly what I was looking for. You know, we want to be buying properties that are 20, 30, 40, 50 cents on the dollar, you know, get good deals, and they still exist today. We're doing it all the time. That's one of the reasons we create a max bid sheet, is so we don't go over that and get a bad deal. So the first thing I did, I looked at a map on Google of Florida, and I wanted to see what are other counties, you know, that are within an hour of me or 2 hours of me. And I brought up 5. So I started getting some information on the internet, Googling the counties, and I actually found that every single county surrounding me was also doing monthly tax sales. And I found 2 that were not online. And I'm looking for less competition. I'm looking for smaller counties where it's not going to be as stiff. So we drove properties and did another max bid sheet, got a whole new list. And then someone went to the auction, and the prices were actually nowhere near as competitive or stiff as it was in West Palm Beach. So I know a lot of people that go to tax sales and, you know, they tell me, oh, there's too much competition, it's not working out. What you guys say does not exist anymore. You can't get properties for 20, 30, 40, 50 cents on the dollar. And I'm just here to remind you and encourage you to try a different county, to try something, you know, not as busy, not as populated, that there are still good deals out there. And so after West Palm, I went to 2 other counties, and I'm looking at a lot more viable options, better places to invest. So that's step 2, tip 2, is definitely branch out if you hit a wall. And one of the last things I want to talk about today, mind you, there are tons more, you know, I could be sharing, but we got to keep this video short, you know, and sweet and simple. The last thing I want to get to is knowing the lay of the land and essentially getting and gathering information in whatever area you're going to be investing in. An easy way to find out how much it's going to cost for rehab, because rehab is something that either will make or break whether how much equity you're going to be getting in a property, is just to get on Craigslist, get on Angie's List, and call up, you know, rehabbers and find out the price of a lot of basic repairs, such as roof repair, you know, foundation repair. And then a really good idea is to find out how much it is to rehab for a price per square foot. So for instance, a lot of the going rates right now in Philadelphia is $55 a square foot to do a rehab, and that's to do a total rehab, you know, to tear everything down, put in new everything. And you know, as you build relationships and you get to meet people and you acquire and build a foundation, you're going to be able to get that price lower, you know, buy in bulk. There are ways to save costs, but that's pretty much what it's going to be for someone new starting out, $55 a square foot. So if you drive a property and it's about 1,000 square feet, you know that's going to be $55 a square foot to redo this entire house. So $55,000 rehab. And then from there you can kind of tweak it, adjust it, and you know that worst case scenario, $55,000. If it's looking, you know, like a half rehab, then, you know, just cut it in half. Because I know a lot of people, a lot of our students don't have a background in rehab or a background in understanding construction, and talking to rehabbers and contractors is a great way to develop that. And YouTube, getting on the internet. Another great tool is realtors. We had Kevin, one of our guys from Philadelphia. Some realtors took Kevin out, you know, showed him what areas are booming, which places he wants to stay away from. Realtors are a plethora of information, so use them. You know, that's pretty much what I got for today, guys. We got a lot of stuff on the go right now. We got a Texas live event coming up. We got a ton of people that are going to be there. It's amazing. We got a lot of our ground team. One of the great things about the ground team actually is a lot of them were students, just like you guys who are working with us now, and you'll get to hear from them, which is fantastic. We got a live auction coming up again. Houston, Texas, we're there each month. We're in Philadelphia each month, just crushing it. So if you want to learn the tips and tricks of what we do, by all means, come check it out, hang out. It's a good time. And I mean, that's really all I got for you guys today. I'm gonna go back to relaxing here in Vancouver and enjoying my time. Till next time, guys, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye. If you guys want to grab your tickets for the live event, all you got to do is click right here.